the single star in its own sky, Cemil Meriç. Friends, this is Cemil Meriç. I am one of the important names of the Turkish world of thought. If you're ready to learn my love story from me, let's get started. I was born 1916 in Hatay. My father is Mahmut Niyazi Bey and my mother is Zeynep Hanım. My family came here from Greece during the Balkan Wars. The First World War was still going on when I was born. It was a difficult and challenging time. Hatay was under French rule in those years. People of different cultures and beliefs lived there, most of whom were Muslim Arabs. Also, many different languages were spoken there. This was a place where Eastern and Western culture intersect. The fact that I was brought up in such an environment would also be decisive in shaping my thoughts. Our house was in the middle of a large garden with a stem flowering on both sides. I loved to pick and eat fruit from the trees in our garden. My greatest pleasure was to listen to my sister reading a book at night by kerosene lamp. Our house was filled with my father's and my sister's books. I learned to read at a very early age. I read whatever I could get my hands on. Shortly after I started school, it was noticed that my eyesight was bad, so I started wearing glasses. With my glasses and my short pants, it was a little different from the other kids. My school was a French school and most of our teachers were French. Thus I learned French at an early age. I also improved my English and Arabic. I was reading authors whose names most people didn't even know yet. We had an unpermissive teacher at our school. In a composition class, he gave me a low grade for dribbling in my paper. In this way, he wanted to convey that writing is a job to be taken seriously. I was using Turkish very well. I was always first in composition class until I finished high school. The two books I read had a great impact on me. Selim Serious Body Discipline book directed me to the sports in a disciplined way. Ibrahim Atamsville training book made me understand the importance of disciplined work. I came to Istanbul, the city of my dreams, in 1936 and attended Pertevnil High School. My teachers here were important names such as Rashad Ekrem Koçu and Nurullah Ataç. I also met Nazım Hikmet here. Living conditions in Istanbul were not easy. Then I came back to Hatay and started to work as a primary school teacher in a village. In those years, a literacy mobilization started in our country. I was going door to door, trying to persuade the villagers to send their children to school. Later, I passed the exam held by the School of Foreign Languages in Istanbul and studied there for 2 years. My days in Istanbul were spent in bookstores and the school library. In the meantime, I accelerated the translation activities. I translated some works of Balzac and Victor Hugo into Turkish. Our house in Istanbul was in a grove. It was surrounded by centuries-old pine trees. My students and friends used to come to visit me all the time. This house has been like a school for me and my students. We used to have long conversation with Kemal Tahir, Hasan Ali Yücel and Rafik Halit Karay in the garden of our house. Meanwhile, the discomfort in my eyes and had progressed. I was having difficulty to see every passing day. In the spring of 1954, when I was 38 years old, I lost my sight completely as a result of an accident. I went to France for treatment. However, this did not happen either. This was very painful for someone like me who reads a lot and lives with books, but I never gave up. After losing my sight, a new period of literacy began for me. I got a lot of help from my close friends in this regard. I had them read my books and had them write my articles. Thus the most productive period of my writing career began. I was also continuing my teaching job at the university. My first book, named Indian Literature, was published in 1964. My book, This Country, was published in 1986. I consider this book, in which I collect my thoughts on culture and literature, as one of my most important works. Besides my book, genre also gets a lot of attention. I try to compare and analyze East and West cultures in my works. I also try to give direction to the present and the future by evaluating our own story. Dear children, I hope my life story has been a guide for you. Learning new things has always been a passion for me. I have always tried to be a researcher, thinker and zealot. I did all this with great discipline. I recommend it to you too. If you are disciplined and work hard, you can achieve great things. In addition, the problems you encounter should never discourage you. If you encounter an obstacle in life, be sure that there are solutions to it.